sat down without hurting myself for once.
Let's go.
Let's go. All about that life. Welcome back to Finding New Films. I'm your host, Hunter, joined here today. We're joined here today by Preston again. Welcome back.
Thank you.
How you been doing?
Good. How you doing?
I've been doing all right. Just chilling, going to work and serving the man.
You're telling me.
At least you get to serve yourself.
That's true.
Yeah, this week was your pick. What did we watch?
We watched Barbarian from 2022.
What was the reasoning behind this pick?
Honestly, I have no idea. I just heard about it and I was kind of like, you know what? That sounds cool. I don't usually like horror movies, but for some reason, this one attracted me.
It's funny that you would pick this movie, though, considering that we actually know who the director is.
Yeah.
And then not really knowing that it was him until getting to the point of watching the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we can go ahead and get that out of the way. It's really funny to me that Zach Kreger of Whitest Kids You Know fame made this movie. It tracks, though.
It does. There were some moments where it really shouldn't have been funny, and it just was.
Yeah, like Justin Long's parts were very inappropriate. Yeah. But yeah, it very much tracks, and I think it's just really, really funny. It coincidentally led back to this.
And it honestly is that it has that the comedy parts are the same vibes of Whitest Kids You Know, where it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, okay.
It's like, that might be, like, way too far.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, yeah.
So that was really funny to see. Zach Kreger, the director of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess you already gave your thoughts of how you felt going into this movie. So I guess we can kind of move on.
Yeah, I was just, I didn't really know what to expect, honestly.
Yeah.
I heard about it on Reddit. Yeah, and someone, was like, I don't want to give too many spoilers, but blah, 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 blah. When whatever happened, I was like, kind of sounds good. Like, all right, I'll give it a try.
It sounds pretty metal. I have to see that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I didn't know really anything about it other than it was a horror movie, and I saw somewhere where it was a monster movie.
Mm-hmm.
And monsters should be, have quotations around it. Because there's not a monster in this movie. I mean,
Whoa.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
There's not a...
There's not
in
a
the
mythological creature, but there is a monster.
There's a human monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Go Florida Atlantic. As we're recording this, they're beating San Diego State's ass.
Mm-hmm.
They're up 14 now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this movie was really, really weird.
Yeah, it started out like kind of just another horror movie. Everything was kind of framed. I was waiting for jump scares.
Yeah.
It had that cinematography. And then it kind of went away from that and got just like fucked up.
It played into it a little bit, but it was always innocent. And it always made you think that you were going to get a more genuine jump scare later on. And I guess you do. Like when you get into the tunnel.
Yeah. It's
kind of hard to not do jump scares when you're in the dark.
True. And in a one-way tunnel.
Yeah.
It's you're looking this way, then you turn back this way. Those are the two options.
You either give them a flashlight that fucks up, or you give them an infrared camera. And that movie was not set up to have an infrared camera.
No.
Anyway, we'll get into that later on. We'll get into the more juicy details. But right now I'm going to run through the credits, the plot, and then, we'll get into it. So, runtime of this movie was 102 minutes. The writer was Zach Kreger. The director was Zach Kreger. The editor was Joe Murphy. The score was done by Anna Grubik. The camera was done by Zach Cooperstein. The stars of the movie were Georgina Campbell, Bill Skarsgård, and Justin Long. So, the plot is as follows. Tess Marshall arrives at a rental house in rundown downtown... Let's start that over. Holy shit. Okie dokie. The plot is as follows. Tess Marshall arrives at a rental house in the rundown Detroit neighborhood of Brightmoor on the evening before a job interview. However, she finds it has been double booked and is already occupied by a man named Keith Toshko. Horrible fucking name.
Dude.
Additionally unnerved by Keith, Tess warms up to him and decides to stay the night while Keith sleeps on the sofa. When she wakes up in the middle of the night, she is shaken to find her bedroom door has been opened, but Keith is asleep and assures her he did not touch the door. The next morning, Tess goes for her interview and is warned not to stay in the area near the house. Returning to the house, she is chased inside by a homeless man who yells at her to leave. She becomes locked in the basement and stumbles across a hidden corridor leading to a room with a camcorder, a stained mattress, and a bloody handprint. Keith returns to the house, frees Jess from the basement, and investigates the hidden corridor. When he does not return, Tess follows him and finds a subterranean tunnel attached to the hidden corridor where she finds Keith injured. The pair are attacked by a naked, deformed woman, credited as the mother, who kills Keith. 2 weeks later, the house owner, actor A.J. Gilbride, is fired from a television series over allegations that he raped his co-star. Pressured to sell assets to pay his legal costs, A.J. travels to Detroit to inspect the house before selling it. A.J. finds the hidden tunnel and tries to measure it, believing it may increase the house's value. The mother attacks A.J. in the tunnel, and he falls into a hole where he meets Tess. A flashback to the 1980s show, flashback to the 1980s shows Frank, the house's original owner, abducting women, raping them, and keeping them captive in the tunnels. In the present, the mother locks Tess and AJ in a hole. Tess tells AJ that the mother wants them to act as her child. AJ is dragged away by the mother, who is forcibly breastfeeding them. Tess uses the opportunity to escape the house with the help of Andre, the homeless man from earlier, who warns her that the mother will come after her at nightfall. With the mother distracted by Tess's escape, AJ finds a room which the mother refuses to approach. Inside, he finds a bedridden Frank, assuming him to be another victim of the mother. AJ assures Frank that he'll call the police before finding evidence of Frank's crimes. Frank kills himself with a concealed revolver. Tess leads the police to the house, but they dismiss her story and leave as night falls. Tess breaks into the house, retrieves her car keys, and rams the mother with her car, seemingly killing her. Tess returns to the basement to rescue AJ, who accidentally shoots her with Frank's gun. The two escape and find that the mother has vanished. Tess and AJ then take shelter with Andre. Andre explains that the mother is a product of Frank's multi-generational incest with his victims. The mother bursts in, kills Andre, and chases Tess and AJ up a water tower. AJ loses his gun and pushes Tess off the water tower to save himself. The mother jumps after her and shields her from the fall. AJ finds that Tess is alive, but as he tries to rationalize his actions to Tess, the mother revives and kills him. The mother attempts to comfort Jess, but she shoots the mother dead with Frank's gun and limps away as the sun rises. And that was Barbarian.
Hell yeah.
I think a movie is good when you're explaining the plot of the movie and you're laughing at it, because, as much as this movie is like a monster horror and it has like very serious elements to it, it's definitely got that sense of humor.
It does.
That I honestly feel like you kind of have to have in a horror movie nowadays. You either have to take yourself extremely seriously, or you have to go wild off the hinges, like funny with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this movie goes off the hinges funny, but
I think that's part of what Zach Kreger brings to it.
Yeah, the subtle humor. And I felt like the writing... in a lot of horror movies, I feel this, where the writing is just so shit, and they're not creative enough to figure out the scenarios in their head. They're just like, well, I want these settings, So we'll just figure it out as we go along.
And this guy's gonna die from this.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
it'll lead them to a jump cut where then we're in this part, and it's like, well, what about that guy? I mean, are we gonna mourn that guy? Is that gonna be like a thing in the story? And it never is. It's just obligatory death.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every death in here has like a meaning, and everything, every set piece gets led into one another really, really well.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't feel like he's taking any shortcuts trying to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really cool. Pretty refreshing to watch from a horror movie. But yeah.
I think it had that, like I said, it had that same sort of humor as Whitest Kids You Know, where that humor is where they're just doing something ridiculous, but they're so serious about it.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what this had, where they kind of knew that it was like, there's some comedy here to this, but we're not going to mention it.
Right.
And that makes it funnier.
Yeah, if they believe it, then the audience will believe it. Mm-hmm. And that kind of, reigns true here.
Yeah.
So that's fun. I just want to go ahead and say, if I was knocking on a door that I was supposed to be renting and the key was not there, and then the light turned on, like there was someone, why? I would never in my life.
So, I watched this movie with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And the whole time, the whole beginning sequence with Tess going to the house, we were like, why?
Like, what the
fuck? Why?
This is like everything they teach you to not do.
It was she knocked on the door, nobody was there.
Yeah.
She made the phone call. Okay, and then someone opens the door. Mm-hmm. Well, do you want to come in? No. No, I don't. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
No, yeah, like
she says yes. Why? She goes inside. Why?
Yeah.
She decides she's gonna take the bedroom. Why? Literally everything. We're like, why? She goes into the basement. Why?
Yeah.
She goes into she finds the door. She pulls the rope. Why? Why? There's no why. Why? She finds a room with a bucket and a bed and a camera.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let's keep going. Why? Why?
No, but that is one thing. She did find that room and was like, yeah, no, fuck this.
Yeah.
And she turned back around, and then she let him convince her again to... Yeah, I don't know. That was one thing about her character. She trusted men way too much.
Bro, I put her down. She's the epitome of the invincible idiot.
Yeah.
Like, she makes every wrong decision in this movie.
Yeah. And
comes out alive.
I don't even know how she really gets through this movie. Mine is like, I would never go into that house. Why would you go inside? Skarsgård's character is super weird from the get-go. Yeah. And I mean, like, I don't even think his character is supposed to be, and maybe he is. Maybe he just looks weird. Maybe he just has a weird vibe.
I think he's supposed to be a little weird, and I think it's supposed to set you up to think that he's the monster.
Yeah.
He's the villain. But then you realize he's not. And he was trying to riz. Like, straight up. He was like, hey, I got a bottle of wine. You want... I'll give you the bed, and I can, he was...
What kind of fucking dryer does that place have? Yeah, it won't be another hour and a half before those shoots are done. Like, bro, you don't think she's ever done laundry before? That was fucking hilarious to me. And it really would have taken him that long to run the sheets. It's like, bro, I don't need the bulky setting, bro. Just put it on dry and just get it out.
Yeah.
I don't need that. But
you want some tea?
He did drop the line, "Do I look like some kind of monster?" Mm-hmm. And that was pretty telling. Mm-hmm. If you didn't know anything about this movie, I wouldn't be. But knowing going in, I was like, he's the guy.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my god, he liked Pennywise and that one too.
Yeah, but then he gets
And then he gets brutally murdered.
Oh, yeah.
The mother had something against people's heads.
Bro. She
said, bang, bang.
Did not stop.
Bang, bang.
And then Tessa's just sitting there.
She's like, huh?
With the flashlight. Bitch, you better run. What? You better run. What are you doing?
She's like...
Damn, he's dying. That's
like,
crazy.
Oh, wow.
He's dying.
Oh.
Wow.
Huh. Would you look at that?
And there's no way that they made such a connection in one night that she's like, I gotta go save him. Nah, you better leave.
How is she falling for this weirdo?
You better leave.
How is she falling for this weirdo?
Yeah. She's
and
like,
then,
please help. No.
that was one of the good writing things I had. Was like, okay, well, she's like learning to trust him over the course of the night. Mm-hmm. She forgets to lock the door because of it. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a really nice touch. Mm-hmm. And then I honestly thought she was about to
let's go
cha-ching. She had like so much, like, I don't know, I thought she was about to invite him in the bed. Honestly, like, that's where I thought it was going.
Yeah, that moment when they were standing on either side of the bed and setting up the sheets.
Yeah, I thought it was about to go hot.
Yeah.
I didn't mean it like that. I thought it was about to get down and dirty. That's what I meant.
You thought there was going to be a sex scene.
I thought they were going to fuck.
That's sick.
I don't know. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe.
Billy Scars?
Kind of... Billy Scars? I want to see the ridges on his skinny back. Yeah, it was a gross relation. It was gonna be a gross relationship, and I'm glad it didn't go through.
Yeah.
And like, to end on this, I have the note. Ew, she has a crush on him. When she's she's at her like little job interview, and she's like looking at his picture.
Bro, that was weird as fuck.
I was like, bruh, you're looking, bro. Imagine you're like fiending over this person so bad that you're looking at the picture that you took of their ID photo.
That was weird as fuck.
Bro.
Who has a good ID photo?
I wish anyone liked me enough or saw enough in me to be looking like lovingly at my ID photo. That is some
respect.
That is some.
You know what? It all makes sense now. Why she went to go save him. And
yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
They were soulmates.
Right. Because she was like, I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot of foreshadowing in that opening sequence. This movie was weird. It was kind of like broken into like 3 sections. There was that first section where she met Keith, and then Keith died, and then that section ended.
Yeah.
And then we went right to Justin Long, right? But that first section, there was like a ton of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
All the locking of the doors and all sorts of stuff. It was like every time I would look over at Ashley and be like, something's going to happen. Like...
Oh, and the fucking... Here's another one of the good writing ones. When she needs toilet paper, and it gets her locked in the basement for the first time. I thought that was really well done.
Yeah.
Because, like, she's just like, fuck, where's the toilet paper? Finally finds it. Oh, creaky door closes, locks. Oh, there's this thing. Oh my god, here's this other thing.
Yeah.
It was just like a super mundane thing that happens all the time.
Yeah.
You know, especially when you're in a rental home.
But that was one of those
where
things...
the fuck do they keep the toilet paper?
That was one of those things where I was like, why?
Yeah.
Why?
That was also the thing.
I understand you're trapped in the basement. Okay. Don't pull the rope. What are you doing? Pull the rope. Don't go down for the doorknob. What? Why? Why? Just stay in the basement until Keith gets home.
Yeah, that was really odd. That was a bad decision. It's just there's nothing good can come out of that. Nothing good can come from you finding a torture chamber and staying.
Nothing. And also, at what point did she... How did she not realize that it was... The tunnel was connecting the 2 houses?
I did like her line. Oh, the tunnel was connecting the 2 houses. Yeah, I don't understand how that was lost on her either.
Yeah. Like, I immediately knew.
Yeah.
She went there, there was a house here. She went in and fucking went... I'm like, they always showed the 2 houses.
Yeah.
I'm like, clearly they're connected by the tunnel. Like, what are you expecting?
Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty funny. She was pretty just naive and...
Stupid.
She's pretty dumb, yeah. She's about to be a researcher for a documentary, and it's like, that's who you want doing your research?
I mean, yikes. I get it. It's a protagonist of a horror movie.
Well, you know.
She gotta be stupid.
She could be all the book smart she wanted to be, but she had no common sense.
It ain't so common, is it?
Yeah.
So what are you going to say? Her line.
When she finds the tunnel, her line is pretty funny. She's just like, nope.
Yeah. But then leaves the door open.
And then leaves the door open and tries to find a light to...
So the night that the first night when her door opened, do you think that was the mother?
I don't know. I mean, it's not really ever explored. There's not really a way of knowing.
I mean, what are the options? It was Keith and he lied.
Yeah.
Or it was the mother. Right? Those are the options?
Yeah.
You think the mother was just scouting?
I don't. Maybe.
Like, these are my new prospects?
Could be. Yeah.
That was one of the things that confused me.
I didn't know really what to make of it.
Yeah.
I think part of me wants to say it was Keith and he's a weirdo because they were setting that up, and then part of me wants to be like, yeah, it was the mother because she locked him in the basement. And I would say with the context clues of the mother being able to lock the basement or close that door, probably.
Well, I also wonder if she's the one that locked the basement. I'm imagining that Frank set it up that way.
Yeah, probably. For when you walk, yeah. Probably just made the door heavy.
Yeah, and the door always locks.
Yeah. Probably. I mean, yeah, probably just...
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the things they don't explain.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing to not explain. I think that would be too much over-explanation. It's like the end of like a James Bond movie when they're like, well, actually, that thing you thought that they were doing for the bad thing was actually a good thing. And you're like,
this set them up to win right now.
And you're like, oh,
okay.
Okay.
Cool. He snuck the laser in his...
Thanks for letting me know.
Cool.
That's so fun. That was really, really creative, guys. Thank you for that. I liked the shoe shot when she's initially walking down the hallway, and it's got her like that big light reflecting off the mirror, and it's like right close on her shoes. I thought that was cool. Cinematography wasn't crazy in this movie.
It was interesting.
It was very plain in the conversational parts, but there was nice shots.
There was a lot of like super hard cuts.
Yeah. Like
disorientingly hard cuts.
Yeah.
Or in one part and then immediately bam, right to them, and you're just like, whoa, what has happened? Like there was no time for it to settle or nothing.
Yeah.
The one when she was sleeping, she goes to bed, she rolls over, and immediately boom, it's morning. And you're just like, ow. Whoa, that was too fast. Chill.
That may have just been you because you were sitting in the dark.
It may have been.
Yeah, I don't remember that one being too harsh on me. But yeah, I mean, I like stuff like that when they're just like, boom, it's morning. Yeah. Because just sitting there and making a scene out of her sleeping again would have been so tired. Yeah. Already in the movie. So, yeah. I thought the textures were really well done in the torture room, like how they made it look like. So they really like drained all the color out in that shot. I thought that was really cool. Yeah, it really made it feel fucking weird as shit.
Yeah, it was like any time that anyone entered that room, it was super like liminal.
Yeah, and I like the way they shot the cave too. It made it look super creepy with just the light like right on the front 2 steps, and then the rest is just a fucking abyss. They did that cool with like the initial tunnel and then the cave, like the big cave. I have also a note that just says she's just too nice. Like, why does she want to help Justin Long's character out? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't even track as like her character.
She just doesn't want him to die. I mean, she don't want the mother to kill you until she realizes that he's a piece of shit. Yeah. That was we meet Justin Long's character, right? Yeah. He gets the phone call, hey, you're getting dropped because so-and-so is saying that you raped her. And I'm like, at first I was like, damn, that sucks. You know, like, false rape accusations, that blows, right? And then we find out, and I'm just like, okay, fuck that guy. Like, nah, fuck that dude. Basically, from every moment after that, it's like, fuck that dude.
I just want you to hear it. Like, this is the succession of my notes, like, as they go. So I like that she's having a breakdown before she's ever really even seen a monster. Because it's a very real reaction to just see, like, a torture room and be freaked the fuck out.
The gate, the cages. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
What in the fuck? Yeah. So that's cool. That someone had a human reaction to, rather than being like, we have to kill this monster. Oh, yeah. Because that's like, fuck, that's so fantasy. Yeah. Then I said, holy shit, R.I.P. Keith. And I said, the fuck was that thing? And then I said, what a segue. Justin Long! Justin Long's character getting canceled? And then I said, Justin's character is a garbage person.
Yep. Pretty much.
Oh, my God.
I felt bad for him pretty much while he was in the car. And then after that, I was like, no, fuck that dude.
Oh, God. The secondhand cringe on listening to the drunk call was just fucking... That hurt really bad. It is not very fun to listen to. Or he's just fucking like... and just like basically complaining that he's not going to have his TV show anymore to this woman that he
If you
raped.
took something the wrong way, I'm really sorry. Like, no.
If you took something the wrong way, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Like, if I did something to offend you, like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I love that. I apologize that you're offended by what I did. I can't change the way you feel.
Yeah, but pretty much like every interaction that he had with someone, with like the rental agency, it was like, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then they go flashback to the conversation with him and his friend at the bar, and it's like, oh, okay, you really are a piece of shit. Got it, okay. Yeah. And then everything after that, he fucking tries to let her die.
Right.
And was like, yeah, whatever, you're sacrificed, bye. You're a piece of shit. And then,
he was an absolute piece of garbage.
Yeah. But he got what he deserves, so that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. The fucking... When he first hears the noise coming from the downstairs, and he thinks it's a squatter, that, like, that sense of pride that he gets, and, like... You know, he's in shambles. So, like, this is going to be the only thing that's actually going to make him feel like a man, or, like, feel like he's, like, can embolden himself in any type of way, and be on, like, the right side of something. Mm-hmm. And, like, his immediate, like, I'm gonna go fuck this guy up, is really funny to me. I thought that...
Hey, if you're down here...
His whole character was written really well.
Oh, yeah. And he played it really well.
Tess was okay.
Stereotypical.
Yes. But his character was down to a T. It was pretty insane, actually.
If you're down here, let me know. Say something now, and I won't hurt you.
And I'll let you walk away.
Yeah.
I'll let you call the police. I'll let you go home. Bruh.
Okay, bro.
And then I gotta set up a break here in a second, so I'm gonna do that. When we come back, we're gonna talk about what he decides that he's going to do when he finds the tunnel and he finds the room, because it's genuinely funny. It's genuinely hilarious. So stick around for that. We'll be right back. I think I'm just going to go to the bathroom, and then we're going to get right back on the horse. So... We're back! We're back! The queen is dead. We're back.
The queen is dead?
Yeah, she's been dead.
What the fuck?
When? When did she die? How?
I don't remember.
Welcome back to Finding New Films.
Hey.
The queen is dead. To each his own. So we left off. We were talking about Justin Long's character. What's his name? AJ. AJ finding the downstairs little hallway, little tunnel, and then he found the cave. And he uses that as an opportunity to find out how much value he can add on this house.
Yeah. He can add in the...
He immediately finds the tunnel and goes upstairs and Googles whether or not you're allowed to...
Can you add an underground room?
Yeah, like an unfinished room. Can an unfinished room be added to the square footage of a house? And he's like, well, not typically, but if...
In certain cases.
Yeah, and he's like...
I don't even remember what he did. Didn't he put in, like, an underground torture room? Like, what did he say? Like, can underground torture rooms be added in square footage?
What about tunnels? Yeah.
yeah.
And it's just like, it was so funny. It was very... You knew where it was coming from. I mean, obviously the writer, but, you know, his sense of humor came through very obviously there, and it also came through very obviously in the scene where he's actually talking to Zach Cregger himself. He was acting in the movie as just like shithead friend that was like, "Hey man, I believe you." The line was so funny. He's like, "Hey man, the internet is always saying stuff. I believe you.
I just need to hear it from you, man. I'm gonna believe whatever you tell me, dude.
I'm gonna believe whatever you tell me." That was so funny.
I should hear it from you, bro.
Just the funniest select words to say. It's like, I'll believe whatever you say.
Yeah.
I just need to hear you say it.
Bro, I know you. I know you, bro. I'm going to believe whatever you tell me.
He explains how he raped somebody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and basically, and then,
she didn't say no after the first couple minutes,
Yeah, he's basically explaining how she didn't consent, and then he's like, wait, but she was into it, super into it.
Oh, yeah, dude. Once we got going, she was...
It was fucking gross, man. Yeah, but Justin Long played it off really well, unfortunately. he sold it really well, which made me really uncomfortable.
I'm not gonna lie, when he goes on his monologue at the end with Andre, I legitimately was like, is Justin Long trying to tell us something? Holy shit.
He played it a little too well.
Yeah. I was like, not even this is out of character. Is he?
Yeah, it felt way too real.
Yeah.
So even when he's finding out about the allegations, it felt way too real.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was yeah.
I mean,
would not be surprised.
Justin Long, yeah. I mean, I guess if nothing is true, I'm gonna apologize. But
yeah, I'm not trying to make any assumptions about your character. Yeah. I'm just saying, if something were to come out, I necessarily would not be surprised.
Be like, yeah, you know what?
I would be like, that tracks.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie that he was in?
No, it's funny you bring that up.
Yeah, yeah.
Because, the anamorphic lens when he gets attacked was pretty cool. Like the bevel, like fisheye lens.
Oh yeah.
That was really, really cool for the 10 seconds that they used it. The little gun, and it's just this massive bulb.
Dude, it got super POV. It looked like Call of Duty. He's got the flashlight in the night.
Yeah.
It looked like one of those POV things. I was like, that's fucking hilarious.
A Black Ops 1 mission where you have to go through the rat hole.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Actually, I love that mission.
I was like, that's awesome.
Shout out Black Ops 1.
Hell yeah.
I've never seen I've never been overexcited to see a character die, and then he doesn't die when you think he's going to die, and it's so disappointing. Mm-hmm. You're like, no, he's gonna die, thank God, and then he doesn't.
Nope. When he first goes down there and gets chased by the mother, first of all, okay, he might be more dumb than Tess.
Yeah.
Because he went down there and was like, oh, sweet. He was pumped about it. She was leery, but still did it. He was pumped. He saw the cages and he was like, I'm like, what? And then he just keeps going. He finds the mother's room.
Yeah.
Which, first of all, just fucking reeks.
Yeah.
Apparently. And is covered in blankets and has a fucking breastfeeding video on.
Yeah.
On loop.
That was pretty cool.
And he was just like... keeps going. She chases him. He gets to that door, right? She comes down the hall and then, backs away. Mm-hmm. And that was one of those things where my girlfriend and I looked at each other and we were like, what is behind that door that made her back away? Oh, fuck.
Right. And then that's when they cut into Frank's backstory, right? Mm-hmm. They make a hard cut. And I don't have any notes about Frank's backstory. Frank is... honestly, on par, piece of shit with AJ's character. If not,
I would say
he's
much
a little worse because he's literally murdering and raping women.
That's one of the things that I have.
Multiple times raping women.
This dude is fucked up.
Yeah, just an absolute psychopath.
The other thing is, the timeline doesn't really add up.
Does not.
Because Andre said that the mother had been there for 40 years.
1980s.
And...
to 2020.
But then he said that she was there over generations of incest.
Yeah.
Generations? How old is Frank, bro? I mean, I would say 3 generations, right?
Yeah.
The woman's got to be probably at least 15. I'd say about 15 to be able to give birth, right? So he comes and he rapes one, and then rapes her daughter, his daughter, at 15, and then rapes their daughter at 15, and then has 40 years for the mother to grow up? You're telling me Frank is like 120? Because he was old as shit.
Well, he did give birth to a superhuman, so... Oh, his wife did.
I guess.
So maybe he's just like a...
Maybe. I mean, obviously he was old as fuck in the bed, but I don't think he was that old.
Maybe he was an alien.
Maybe. But I mean, in the flashbacks to the 80s or whatever, he looked like he was 50.
Yeah. I don't know. It would really depend on how they... Like, what his age is in that first scene.
Well, also, I guess that first scene set up for him to go back and someone was already giving birth. Yeah. So I guess he could have already been into his business.
Yeah, that could have been like the second woman.
Yeah, no, that's true. Okay. I guess I didn't think about that.
It could have been the last one.
It could have been. That could have been when the mother was born. It's true.
That's what I imagined.
Okay. You may be right then. I was just like, that's fucked up.
I didn't really think about it too hard, but if I had to put it together, that's what I imagined. That's when the mother is getting born.
Yeah. And then, the whole thing about the neighbor coming over and being like, oh yeah, I'm moving. I'm like, duh. We knew that was his house. Like, we knew he had both.
Right.
I want to see what the fuck is in there. Like, damn, is it just full of more of those tapes or some shit? Like,
that just goes to show you, I didn't even pick up on that. I didn't even pick up that, like, they were showing you that he owned both the houses right there. Yeah, I didn't even pick that up when I was watching it.
The neighbor was like, oh yeah, I'm moving. And he was like, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not going to say that he bought the house, but he definitely dug a tunnel under it. I mean...
Yeah, I guess we didn't see the titles or anything.
Yeah.
So. Damn, Florida Atlantic holding on by a thread. Just a 2-point lead with a minute to go. But, yeah,
somewhere towards the end of this movie, like when they got out of the house, Ashley turned and asked me, she was like, is this an A24 movie? And I was like, that's a good question. I don't know.
No.
It's not.
No. So,
but it kind of had those vibes.
Yeah.
A little bit here and there. It kind of reminded me of Midsommar. It's
hard not to, because they've kind of like bought a lot of, you know, the more artsy horror movies that have come out recently. So it kind of just runs into that vibe. But, what were you going to ask?
I was just saying that it kind of reminded me of like Midsommar-ish.
Oh, yeah.
The vibe of the movie, some of the camera work and, you know, things like that. Kind of, and like the whole thing of it where you're just kind of like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah. I would, themes-wise, it was probably closer to like the plot of Hereditary. If I had to place it. But I mean, you know, or even The Witch.
I haven't seen that one.
Those are both good. The Witch is, yeah, whatever. I don't need to go on a tangent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I can see that, though. A24 kind of just has a monopoly on horror, though. So it kind of just, they've kind of created the style of horror that gets made now. But, yeah. Fucking breastfeeding scene was cringy as hell.
And not to mention
from like a bad cringy.
Yeah, and they gave us the exposition that the room stunk like shit.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine what that, and the hair everywhere. I was like, ugh.
The hair on the bottle when she's handing it to him. Yeah.
And Tess was just like,
yeah, she's like, do it. She's like, I'm not about to get I'm not about to get fucking killed because of you. I like the practical reason for there to be like a sound on the floor of him bringing the measuring tape downstairs. I've been noting just there's a lot going on in this movie.
Yeah.
There's so much going on.
There was, because it was like there was the part of like this fucking Frank is a fucking monster. Mm-hmm. And then he created a monster. Like, it wasn't just a monster movie. It was like the dude that created it is fucked up.
Yeah.
And still alive.
Yeah. And
has all these fucking tapes of when he was doing it, and then fucking kills himself. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
The police suck.
Fuck them.
It has nothing to do with the movie. I just wanted to bring that up. No, the police in this movie are fucking horrible. And it,
movie.
And it's, it was very socially aware. This movie was, especially in that part. And that was just kind of. I feel like we've had like enough, heartbreak and stuff. I could have felt like that could have got left out, maybe.
I
think
they were trying to make a point, and they made the point. Did they need to make the point?
Well, it's that too, and if I'm gonna play devil's advocate on my own point, I guess, you kind of have to give the audience a reason why the police aren't there, because that's gonna be everybody's gonna debunk it. And like, well, they had cell phones the whole time. Why didn't they call the police?
Yeah, and I guess if you leave it up to the people, then it becomes an argument of the police ain't shit and no, fuck that, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So, I guess at least show us that the police ain't shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's, in a bad part, a bad city.
Yeah. And she looks like a fucking crackhead. Coming out of the damn cave.
Yeah. And, I think,
How did she survive that couple weeks? Was she on the bottle? Was she off the breast?
I don't know if it was a couple weeks. That's another thing. There's like no time explanation.
Well, so that was one of the things, right? So he called the rental agency and was like, yo, who's staying here? And they were like, well, we haven't had anybody stay there for a couple weeks. That's the reason I say a couple weeks, right? But I
just took that as they didn't.
Well, so I said to my girlfriend, because I was like, it kind of confused me, and we had a little conversation about it. I was like, does that mean she's been down there for a couple weeks? Or does that mean that, like, the rental agency just really ain't doing shit, and somebody put the room up for rent because they rented on 2 different sites? Like, somebody else was doing it and just trying to make money?
Right.
Like, off of a vacant house, right?
Right.
And she was like, well, I think that they're saying that they were the ones who were there a couple weeks ago, and they've been down there for a couple weeks. I was like, fuck.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing she was off the bottle. But that explains why he got there, and she was like, look, just be calm. When you get upset, she gets upset. Fucking drink off the bottle, drink it off the tit, like, whatever.
Yeah.
Relax, and we'll get out of here. Like, I guess it kind of makes sense that she...
Just fucking drink the bottle, you motherfucker. Yeah.
He was so defiantly like, no, I won't. Just fucking drink it.
Like, bro, why do you have shame down here?
Yeah.
Like, you don't
You would rather die.
You don't even have the will to survive right now.
You would rather die than drink out of a bottle. Okay.
That was so funny. But it made sense, though.
Yeah.
With the character. I've never been so excited to see someone shoot themselves in the head. In a movie.
Yeah. I feel that. I think it was kind of a shitty way to end his character. Which I guess is the point.
Yeah.
Right? He took the easy way out.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like that.
He's a coward for his whole life. He's a coward in the end of his life.
Yeah.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
Anything else more convoluted, I felt like would have been too. Like, he stands up and he's an even bigger, badder monster. Like, that's what would normally have happened, and I'm so glad it didn't.
Yeah. That was one of the things that was like so easy to see, right? He was like, what you want? And you bring him the whole thing, and I'm like, there's a gun in there. Of course there's a gun in there.
I had no clue.
My thought was,
I had no clue what he was asking.
I thought he was going to pull out the gun and shoot Justin Long.
That would have been fucking hilarious. It's like, I don't know what you want, old man. And just like, pop.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
That would have been really funny.
I was like, okay,
But, yeah. Then I thought they just killed the I thought they killed the mother, like, immediately after, like, with the car. I thought they just went bang, bang, and was just like, okay, we're getting this movie over with.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Obviously, that was not the end.
I mean, I didn't know how much time was left in the movie, so I was kind of like, she hit her with a car, and I was like, okay, they'll start to, wrap things up from here.
Right.
She goes and gets him, and they're like, oh, she was right here. I'm like, what the fuck? Okay.
God. Yeah, it was really funny. That she survived like 5 different times. Just
oh yeah, dude.
5 different
brutal
brutal
human. And it only took 1 bullet to kill her. I don't believe that. She jumped off a water tower. Really? After getting hit by a car.
And then Justin Long's character contemplating whether or not he's a bad person, and then he just leaves her and run up the steps.
Yeah, so that whole monologue,
After
I was like,
shooting her.
It was like, that whole monologue was like, okay, maybe
he's figured it out.
Yeah, like, maybe he is understanding something, and then, nope, right back to it, like.
No, he's just a shithead, actually.
Yep. I like how Andre, the random homeless guy, was so positive that she was going to live through the night with a fucking gunshot wound. Like, no, she'll be fine.
He was also positive the Night Mother would never come to his spot.
Oh, yeah. It's 15 years. She ain't never been here.
Like, damn, bro. I've never seen the tides turn so damn quick. It's like, nah, you're good. You're safe. I'm good. She ain't never been here. Bang, 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 bang.
You're dead.
Like, you're
Go
dead.
off the water tower.
You're dead.
Bro, the whole time, when she broke in the wall, I was like, where's the gun?
Yeah.
She's standing right there, fucking ripped Andre in half, just looking up. I'm like, fucking shoot her. Like, what are you doing? Just shoot her. She's standing right in front of you. Where's the gun? And they're running, and I'm like, where's the gun? And then he pulls it out, and I'm like, oh, cool. Okay. Now that we're up on the water tower.
She took his mouth and just fucking ripped his head.
She should have.
Like a head of cabbage, bro.
The close-up of the eyeballs was not needed.
Yeah, I didn't like watching someone get their eyes gouged.
No.
That was gross.
Yeah, no, that was not needed. That was one of the, like, no, I'm good.
Yeah. And then, like, basically at the end, I thought it was fucking hilarious how he, like, pushed her down the water tower.
Oh, yeah, just slid her right off.
He's like, it's one of us, sir, but no, like, you have to make a distraction, and he just throws her off the water tower.
I like how he grabbed her by the damn hair. It was just like, you're going. Yoink.
Yeah, it's your time to go, and he just fucking chucks her. Mm-hmm. That was fucking hilarious.
And honestly, up until that point, you were kind of like, okay, maybe he is reformed.
Yeah, or
he was kind of like, he was fine. Quality. He was like working with her. He was like, come on, get up the water tower. And then he's just like, nah, fuck it. Like, yoink. I'm good.
Oh, God. Actions speak louder than words. And then she calls her baby as she's getting killed, and then they play "Be My Baby" by the Ronettes.
Hell yeah!
I don't know. I thought this movie was really good.
When he was having that monologue, I was like, "Is the whole movie just allegory for this character? Like, is this is just the karma from him from raping her? Is that what this whole movie is?" But then it kind of ended up not being that, so I was like, okay.
No, it's just
San Diego State just won on a buzzer beater.
Wow.
R.I.P. FAU and Keys.
Are you gonna get to see it, or it's just gonna go to?
You don't get to see it because we're recording a podcast.
Huh. Wow. Fucking. Congratulations to San Diego State. Here it is. You get the live reaction. Dribble, out of his hands. I mean, that's how you do it. He wasted the perfect amount of time to shoot that. Oh, congrats to him. San Diego State in the national championship. Never thought that would come out of my mouth. But Anyway, we're going to talk about the themes for the next 7 minutes until we get to the end of this part. Then we're going to hit the list, and then we're going to get out of your hair. Not that we were ever in it, but the themes to this, I'm going to just go through them quickly, and then we can talk about them if any of them pop out at you. So I have the hazards of passing judgment, family, blessings and curses of families, fate and free will, greed as downfall, heroism, real and perceived, identity crisis, loneliness as a destructive force, losing hope, the oppression of women, self-reliance, temptation and destruction, the will to survive, and the vulnerability of the meek.
Yeah. I think I'd agree with pretty much all of those.
Yeah. Really the one that stands out to me the most is, like, there's, like, a consistent impression of women in this.
Yeah.
That seems to be, like, the one big theme in this movie seems to be, like, shitty men.
Which is ironic because...
This movie doesn't pass the Bechdel test.
It's ironic because the monster is a woman.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah. Yeah, like, she's a victim, too, at the same time.
Yeah.
As being, like, this murderous force and beast,
yeah.
you know? Like, it's weird when you can have empathy for a monster. Like, what's normally seen as, like, a brainless monster. You can, at the end of the day, you have empathy because there's a human monster behind it.
Yeah.
That was really confounding. I thought that was, like, the most interesting part of the whole movie. Where it's basically, like... I mean, Frank is basically, like, Frankenstein.
Yeah.
But, like, a horribly evil man who was not a scientist in any way.
No.
But he created...
a serial
Frankenstein's
rapist,
monster.
murderer, Frankenstein.
Yeah, and he created Frankenstein's monster just completely by circumstance of being a shitty person.
Yeah.
And maybe that's, like, what her whole symbolism was. It's like everything horrible about Frank being personified into, like...
Probably.
You know, this woman that terrorizes people.
Yeah.
So, that was really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't talk about it, but, like, what was... Like, Tess was getting those text messages early in the movie from a guy named Marcus.
Mm-hmm.
She was, like, in an abusive relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, again, I mean, it's probably why she has the connection with her mother.
That was the whole reason that she was in Detroit?
Yeah.
Was she was trying to get away from her fucking shitty ex.
Yeah.
And do whatever.
Yeah, so that kind of just goes back into the oppression of women thing and...
Facts. The whole reason that she was even in the situation and got fucked up like this was because of a dude.
Of a shitty man. And then more shitty men. And then the one guy that tries to help her out. Still creepy, though. He was still creepy as fuck.
I honestly think that's just Bill Skarsgård's face.
I think that, and he's not American. And he's playing an American. And, like, maybe. I don't want to sit here and for sure be like, yes, he is playing an American. The guy's name is Toshko.
Yeah. He's playing a dude with an American accent.
Yeah. And that's... So for me, you know, he's a guy who knows about, like, Detroit jazz. So that was
the most
really
niche guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why they had to write him into, like, it was like, oh yeah, I'm a part of this band, that also does that thing that you're doing a documentary about.
Yeah,
exactly.
You
don't know who I am.
That's me, yeah.
And you have no clue who I am, actually.
He's like, well, I'm not the guy, but I'm one of the guys, like, oh, okay, cool.
She's like, fun.
How many guys are there? What are there, fucking 50 guys that I don't know who you are? Like,
Yeah, there are, when I think about it, there are parts of this movie where it's like, why is this part in here? Yeah. What does this have to do with anything?
Yeah.
But I guess it also just builds, like, lore behind who these characters are and like, where they came from. And, but it just doesn't feel like it needs to be explored. I don't need to know who Tess is, really, at all.
Yeah.
And they don't do enough to not personalize, but like warm her up to the audience. They don't do enough to endear her to the audience, and
especially with all the stupid decisions she's making.
Yeah, how can I be on her side? She's the dumbass.
Yeah,
but
through at least the first half of the movie, I was like, "You deserve this. Like, you did this to yourself. I'm sorry. Like,
you deserve it." I like this heroism theme, though, the real and perceived. Because there are definitely perceived heroes and then actual heroes.
Yeah. AJ thinks he's a hero.
Yeah.
That's the big one, I think.
Yeah, that one was really funny. I just put Greenho's downfall in there because AJ would have been fine if he just,
not been a piece of shit.
Looked at that, did a one look over the house and then just sold it.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Sorry to the next guy, I guess.
Yeah, right? And then who gets his house now? It's just like an open house on the market. The house is going to rot away.
Honestly, I kind of wanted to see the aftermath, like...
Or the next person.
No, I want to know what they report on the news. This fucking crazy-ass monster was just found dead in the street next to actor AJ Gilbride, like...
near his Detroit home.
Yeah, like...
That would actually be really funny. If they ever did like a director's cut or like a just extras in like the DVD part, I would actually love to see that. It's like, what the
just the news report is what I want to see.
Like just snap back to reality scene. Mm-hmm. That would be really funny. But we have to get into the break. When we get back from the break, we're going to put the movie on the list and we'll be done. And we probably won't talk about it that much more. We're not even going to talk to each other when we get back. It's going to be dead silence. He's going to put his fingers up for how many that he wants to give it, and that's going to be how it goes. So don't expect anything interesting to happen in part 3. No.
Just like every other one, am I right?
Hey-o! I'm not giving you that. Yeah, just stick around for part 3. We're going to talk about it and put it on the list, and then... Okay. Welcome back for the last time. We are going to get out of here in about 5 minutos. Since it's your movie, do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first? Hey, bro.
I'll go first. I'm going to give it a 7.
That's fair.
It was not the best movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But that was pretty good.
I would say the same.
Yeah.
I
think the comedy bits were probably the best part. It was a horror movie with a little bit of laughs here and sprinkled in, and it was good.
Yeah, the laughs made it feel not entirely absurd.
Yeah.
That's all I really have.
Pretty much made me not
dislike the movie.
Dislike it, yeah. It was like, as a horror movie, it was like a 4. But the laughs were good.
Yeah.
They brought it up.
Yeah. I would say the same. I gave it a 7. So this movie gets a 14. Your run-of-the-mill movie.
Hell yeah.
Nothing too special about it. This puts it at numero 12 out of 14. Yeah. That is Barbarian, though. But, I think that's fair. Yeah, I would say that's fair.
I think so. I mean, I haven't seen all the ones that you have. But...
from my perspective, I would say that's fair. Yeah. I think Mulholland Drive was better.
I think Mulholland Drive was better. For sure. I know that one I was here for.
Assassination of Jesse James is pretty long, but if you can bear that, it's better than Barbarian. Assassination of Jesse James is one of the weirdest minutes because it has like the climax and then there's 40 more minutes. And you're like, whew.
Golly.
Can we wrap this
Yeah,
up?
let's go home, please.
Yeah, same thing with Casino Royale. The climax happens and then there's 40 more minutes and you're just like, let's get out.
Yeah, I think I'm good on
let's get out of here on this
on Bond movies. Yeah.
Yeah. That only was watched for emergency purposes. So. David got sick, and we had
what you're saying is there was a reason you hadn't seen Casino Royale.
Yeah. Well, we thought it would be the easiest movie to have a thought about or an opinion about, and what it actually just turned into is mostly us just kind of shitting on the movie, and then being like, "Well, it's well made, so I'm not gonna trash it."
Yeah, it's not free.
Yeah, there's movies that are horribly made, have a horrible story, and just garbage pieces.
Horrible in every way.
I hate when people are like, this movie was a 2 out of 10 easy, and it's like, there's no way, with the way this movie is made, and the quality with which it's made, that you could possibly think this is a 2.
Yeah.
You just don't like the story.
Yeah.
And I don't tend to listen to anyone who does stuff like that, but, yeah. We'll leave it on that little rant. I hope everybody enjoyed who listened or watched. Hello to the Spotify people. Hello to the YouTube people. Yeah.
For those of you on Spotify, you couldn't hear my wave.
You couldn't hear my my middle finger in the air either. But anyways, love you all. No, I don't love you, but it'll get there.
I do. I love all of you.
I think right now I just I really need a friend. And I don't know. I'm not looking for anything too serious at the moment. So.
All right. On that note.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody. Thank you for watching Finding New Films, episode 14. I appreciate anybody who spends time. We'll see you next week. Episode 15, I will have My Own Father is back.
Oh, yeah.
I think. Hold on. Let me check on that. I'm just making sure.
Abandonment issues.
Yeah. Let me just make sure that's still right. You're coming, right?
He said he was.
You're gonna come, right, Dad? No. Me and my dad are gonna be watching the jazz drama Whiplash, 2014.
Ooh.
Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons, Oscars. Yeah.
Sick.
So, yeah, I used to make fun of Zach for watching that movie as much as I used to watch Mad Max Fury Road, and yeah, so now I'm gonna watch it. And
you're gonna find out what it's all about.
Yeah,
and then you're gonna start watching it.
And I'm gonna shit on it.
Cool.
Just to fuck Zach over, make him look stupid. Anyway, all right, bye everybody.
Bye.